Hi all the students, welcome once again. Today we are going to have the third video on decision making. And today we are going to solve 10 very important questions, and all these questions are very selective questions. I believe that the moment you start solving these questions with us, you will be able to understand the nitty-gritty of decision making in a very proper manner. And actually you will come to know what approach we will have to keep to ensure that we score high in this section. The pattern seems to be very simple. Understanding a case is not a tough deal, but among the 5 options, getting the correct answer. And moreover, once you shortlist 2 or 3 options and then comparing and giving the correct answer is not an easy deal. So students, what things we have to keep in mind while giving the correct answer? Anyway, about this, I had a short discussion in my very first video. So if you have not seen that, do watch it and then start solving these questions with me. वैसे तो स्टूडेंट XAT में जो डिसीजन मेकिंग के क्वेश्चंस होते हैं, they are actually in a set of 2 or 3 questions each. But in today's class, a majority of the questions which we are going to discuss are standalone individual questions. The basic objective is to make you understand the approach. तो हम लोग आज बहुत ज़्यादा सेट्स को सॉल्व नहीं करेंगे, will majorly focus on solving individual questions. At the same time, I have taken 1 or 2 such questions also, where some numerical calculation is also needed. The students start करते हैं the very first question. चलिए, so what approach you people will have to keep in mind is pause it, try to give the answer on your own, and after that listen to my explanation and then compare your answer with that of my thought process and see क्या ये दोनों चीजें मैच होती है या नहीं. चलिए स्टार्ट करते हैं. So a simple paragraph is given to us and there is only one question which is based on it. So not a very tough question. Let us see what is the correct answer. Now a leading soap manufacturing company has recently launched a new product that targets the teenage segment. In order to boost its sales, the company has come up with a set of advertisements both in the electronic and print media. These advertisements have drawn flack from a lot of people for being offensive. Do understand, students? The advertisements are considered offensive, not the product. तो कई बार हम लोग इसमें गलती क्या करते हैं? We presume that the product has been criticized. Actually यहाँ पर जो criticism है वो product का नहीं है, वो advertisements का है. Okay? Now, there have been lashbacks on various social media platforms as well. The CEO of the organization has called an emergency meeting of the directors to resolve the problem. So what should he do? Okay? चलिए one by one सारे options को अपन पढ़ते हैं. कुछ options तो बहुत easily rule out हो जाएंगे. The offer is resignation as he is responsible for the product line and the customer satisfaction. Tell me students, क्या resignation offer करना solution है क्या? And anyway, resignation offer करने से problem तो solve होगी नहीं. अब क्या? तो I believe that whenever you come across such questions of decision making, resignation से तो हमको बचना ही चाहिए. The core question is how to overcome the problem, how to resolve it. So resignation is not the solution here. The first option is not correct. Fire the head of the legal team as he should have foreseen the legal implications of the new advertisements. Again, students, try to understand that is not the solution. अब करना क्या है? सबसे पहले तो ये डिसाइड करो. उसके बाद स्टूडेंट्स फ्यूचर में when you want to fix the responsibility, at that time if you take any action on your employees, that is okay. But right now the issue is somewhat different. The students resign करना और fire करना, ये दोनों गलत answers हैं. Now recall the product from the market and send it for testing. Try to understand the problem does not lie with the product. The problem lies with the advertisement. तो इसीलिए किसी भी स्टूडेंट को अगर थर्ड ऑप्शन लगा हो, but do understand even this is not correct. Stop the advertisements with immediate effect and ask the marketing team to work on rebranding the product. I think fourth option में कोई गड़बड़ नहीं है. Fifth, do nothing. In today's times, any publicity is good publicity. I think this option is anyway ruled out. So students, the only correct answer is fourth option. Wonderful. समझ में आया सभी स्टूडेंट्स को? Done? Yes. Now coming on, students, a small paragraph is given and on the basis of this paragraph 2 questions are given. And this becomes a kind of question where a bit of numerical calculation is needed to give the correct answer. ऐसे क्वेश्चंस बहुत ज़्यादा टफ नहीं होते हैं. थोड़ा भी स्टूडेंट्स अगर कैलकुलेशन पार्ट या लॉजिक अपना क्लियर है तो गिविंग द आंसर इज मच ईजियर. एंड ऐसे क्वेश्चंस में एक्चुअली एक्यूरेसी बहुत अच्छी बैठती है, अंडरस्टैंड. ओके, बिकॉज सब चीज़ें ऑब्जेक्टिव है. बाकी सब क्वेश्चंस में तो ऑप्शंस आर क्वाइट सब्जेक्टिव इन नेचर. यस, थिंक व्हाट कैन बी द पॉसिबल आंसर. Krishna Reddy was the head of a pharmaceutical company that was trying to develop a new product. Reddy, along with his friend Prabhakar Rao, assessed that such products had mixed success. Reddy and Rao realized that if a new product was a success, it may result in a sales of 100 crores, but if it is unsuccessful, the sales may be only 20 crores. So there are two possible scenarios given. अगर successful होता है तो 100 करोड़ की sales, otherwise 20 crores. Now, they further assessed that a new drug was likely to be successful 50% of times. Now, students, the chances are given here, the probability is given here. 50% chance है कि वो successful हो जाए और 50% वो failure हो जाए. Cost of launching the new drug was likely to be 50 crores. So, students, the revenue is given to us and the cost is given to us. Coming on the question now, how much profit the company expect to earn if it launches the new drug? Suppose there are no additional costs. The students, कितना profit company expect करती है? Now try to understand. ऐसा कभी भी हो तो ये जो weightage है, probability, that plays the most important role. Try to understand. If it becomes successful, the revenue is 100 crores, and if it becomes a failure, the revenue is 20 crores. अब इसके भी 50% chance है और इसके भी 50% chance है. The students, here the possible revenue is 50 and here it becomes 10. But do understand 60 crores can be the expected revenue. Students, जो weightage है ना, you have to just use that. So 100 crores revenue आने का 50% chance है और 20 करोड़ का 50%. तो आप चाहें तो इसका सीधा एवरेज ले लें. तो स्टूडेंट्स, जो पॉसिबल रेवेन्यूज होगी that is going to be 60. This is what the approach we will have to keep in mind. Okay, and then students, the possible cost is 50 crores. The 60 crores का revenue, and if the cost is 50, the students, the possible profit can be 10 crores. So here the best answer is second option. Okay, so the best part with this question is no confusion at all. Unique answer आता है and you can be confident about this answer. तो एक question set numericals पर आने के पूरे chances हैं. In my last video also we have taken one such set which was actually there in actual XAT paper. Okay, चलिए, one more question is based on the same data. Now, how much profit can the company expect to make if the product is launched after favorable test marketing results? चलिए, सबसे पहले तो students, there is some change in the paragraph. Let us try to understand it first. Now, Reddy and Rao were in a quandary. Quandary का मतलब है conundrum, confusion, whether the company should go ahead and market the drug or not. They contacted Raj Aduri, a common friend, for advice. Aduri was of the opinion that given the risky nature of launch, it may be a better idea to test the market. So Rao and Reddy realized test marketing would cost 10 crores. तो ध्यान रखना, पहले से 50 करोड़ का कॉस्ट है और 10 करोड़ एक्स्ट्रा कॉस्ट है टेस्टिंग का. Aduri told them the previous test marketing results have been favorable 70% of times and success rate of products favorably tested was 80%. Further, when test marketing results were unfavorable, the products have been successful 30% of the times. अब students, ये जो पूरा sentence है, ठीक है, this becomes very important. इसे बहुत अच्छी तरह से समझो what it says. Aduri told them the previous test marketing results have been favorable 70% of times. Okay, तो ये जो टेस्ट है उसमें फेवरेबल रिजल्ट आ जाए उसका चांस है 70%. And once you get favorable results, after that the success rate of the product, it actually becomes 80%. Try to understand. टेस्ट फेवरेबल होगा उसका 70% चांस है, and if the test is favorable, after that जो सक्सेस रेट है that becomes 80%. तो पिछले क्वेश्चन में it was 50%. Okay, but now students, if the test is favorable, जिसका चांस 70% है. तो वंस द टेस्ट इज फेवरेबल, आफ्टर दैट जो सक्सेस रेशियो है, जो सक्सेस रेट है, दैट इज 80%. And then students further, when test marketing results were unfavorable, the products have been successful 30% of the times. And possibly students अगर टेस्ट का रिजल्ट अनफेवरेबल होता है, जो कि 70% चांस है फेवरेबल होने का, तो 30% चांस है अनफेवरेबल होने का. और अगर ये अनफेवरेबल होता है, उसके बाद प्रोडक्ट का सक्सेसफुल होने का चांस है 30%. आई होप देयर इज नो कंफ्यूजन. ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड दिस डेटा वंस अगेन. ओके, परसेंटेज में उलझना नहीं है, अंडरस्टैंड. तो टेस्ट विल बी फेवरेबल. ओके, ओके, इट कैन बी फेवरेबल और इट कैन बी अनफेवरेबल. तो फेवरेबल होने का चांस कितना है? 70%. अनफेवरेबल का चांस कितना है? दैट बिकम्स 30%. अगर फेवरेबल हो जाता है तो उसके बाद सक्सेस का चांस है 80% एंड फेलियर का चांस है 20%. ओके, एंड हियर स्टूडेंट्स, अगर रिजल्ट अनफेवरेबल होता है, आफ्टर दैट द सक्सेस रेट इज गोइंग टू बी 30%. तो 30% चांस ऑफ सक्सेस and the chance of failure will be 70%. Okay, so these two are the possible scenarios. Now coming on the question, how much profit can the company expect to make if the product is launched after favorable test marketing results? Now try to understand what the question says. The question is, मान लेते हैं जो टेस्ट हमने किया उसका रिजल्ट फेवरेबल आ गया. Okay, the result of the test is favorable. Now my question is, what revenue the company can expect or what profit the company can expect? Not revenue but profit. चलिए, अब स्टूडेंट्स मान लेते हैं जो टेस्ट का रिजल्ट है वो फेवरेबल है, राइट? तो इसे अब कंसिडर नहीं करना है. अब सोचो स्टूडेंट्स, अगर टेस्ट का रिजल्ट फेवरेबल है, ओके, देन सक्सेस का चांस क्या है? 80%. और अगर सक्सेस होती है तो उस केस में 100 करोड़ इज द रेवेन्यू. तो 100 करोड़ का 80%, इट बिकम्स 80 करोड़. एंड स्टूडेंट्स, अगर फेलियर होता है जिसका चांस 20% है, तो फेलियर के केस में द रेवेन्यू वाज 20 करोड़. सी द लास्ट डेटा. ओके, जो मेन क्वेश्चन डेटा है उसमें क्या मेंशन था? उसमें यही तो मेंशन था, इफ द प्रोडक्ट बिकम्स सक्सेसफुल द रेवेन्यू विल बी 100 करोड़ एंड इफ इट बिकम्स अ फेलियर द रेवेन्यू विल बी 20 करोड़. So the chances of success is 80%. So 100 का 80 I have taken. The chances of failure is 20%. So 20 करोड़ का 20%. So it becomes how much? 4. So 84 crores. This becomes the possible revenue. And then students, जो total cost है, पिछले क्वेश्चन में, पिछले स्लाइड में we have seen 50 crores was the actual cost. And यहाँ पर स्टूडेंट्स टेस्टिंग का कॉस्ट कितना है? 10. So 50 plus 10, that becomes 60. So 84 minus 60 crores, this becomes 24 crores. So here students, the possible profit is going to be 24 crores. So this becomes the correct answer. I guess all the students, you have understood what I mean to say. So 70% chance है सक्सेस का. But anyway students, हमें उस 70% को लेकर कंफ्यूज नहीं होना है. हमारा टेस्ट का रिजल्ट फेवरेबल होगा या नहीं होगा, ओके, उसके परसेंटेज को लेकर हमें कंफ्यूज नहीं होना है. बिकॉज इन दिस क्वेश्चन एनीवे स्टूडेंट्स द कंडीशन इज फेवरेबल टेस्ट, दैट मीन्स द टेस्ट इज फेवरेबल. तो एनीवे टेस्ट फेवरेबल होने का चांस 70% है. लेट अस नॉट गेट कंफ्यूज बिकॉज ऑफ दैट. हम तो ये मान के चल रहे हैं दैट द टेस्ट इज फेवरेबल. नाउ कीपिंग दैट थिंग इन माइंड, वी आर सपोज टू कैलकुलेट द एक्सपेक्टेड प्रॉफिट. तो straight away 80% of 100 crores and 20% of 20 crores. So hence it becomes 84 minus the cost, which is 60. The correct answer is 24 crores. I hope the point is clear. Wonderful. तो ये question बहुत अच्छा था and ऐसे questions आने के पूरे chances. Once again students, we are going to start standalone individual questions. But now onwards, whatever questions we are going to discuss, they are going to be subjective in nature. तो न्यूमेरिकल पर केवल एक क्वेश्चन था एंड वी हैव डन दैट. ओके, वन सेट ऑफ 2 क्वेश्चंस एंड नाउ ऑल द क्वेश्चंस आर गोइंग टू बी सब्जेक्टिव. सो हियर कम्स क्वेश्चन नंबर 4. स्टार्ट. यस, सो हैव यू गॉट द आंसर? आई थिंक दिस पैराग्राफ इज नॉट सो टफ. इट इज अबाउट Mayank, who is a manager but is investing much of his time, okay, with his employees solving their technical problems despite knowing that, okay, that is not his job. His job is to delegate, is to empower the team. Okay, rather is actually investing time with them to solve their problems. Now, many times Mayank's boss has actually spoken to Mayank regarding this, but he is not improving. So finally, the HR manager has been called, and now the question is, what solution can they propose to this situation? Okay, चलिए बताओ students, what is the correct answer here? Easy सा set है. First option, ask Mayank's team members to help by not allowing Mayank to solve their technical problems. ऐसा नहीं लगता स्टूडेंट्स की फर्स्ट ऑप्शन तो बहुत ही एब्सर्ड हो जाएगा कि हम टीम मेंबर्स को बोलें कि बेटा मयंक की हेल्प ही नहीं लेनी, अंडरस्टैंड. अरे यू हैव टू टेल मयंक कि दिस इज नॉट योर जॉब. ओके, यू हैव टू फाइंड द वेज. ओके, कि मयंक को हम लोग कैसे समझाएं और अगर वो नहीं समझता है तो उसके साथ क्या करें. So rather than telling the team members that you should not take the help of Mayank, I don't think so. So this option is going to be very much absurd. Second option, work with Mayank and set a clear benchmarks to measure his management performance. Second option seems to be okay. कि मयंक के साथ काम करो, उसको क्लियर कट बताओ कि तुम्हारे बेंचमार्क्स क्या हैं. Okay, and moreover, okay, he should understand that he will be judged purely on the basis of management performance. Coming on the third one, support Mayank if he wants to be rid of his managerial responsibilities and transfer him to a different department for a subordinate role. I think student जो management cadre पे काम कर चुका है, अब उसे subordinate के रोल में भेजना is not going to be a feasible solution. Possibly students वो मयंक के लिए भी acceptable नहीं होगा. अच्छा, you students may get confused because of this line. It seems that Mayank is one of those technical managers who seem to want to be back in the technical trenches. But you people try to understand. It seems like, ऐसा लगता है, but कहीं पर भी मयंक ने बहुत क्लियरली ये शेयर किया हो कि मुझे इस मैनेजमेंट पोजीशन से हटाकर वापस से टेक्निकल लाइन में भेज दें. तो नथिंग ऑफ द सॉर्ट इज गिवन. इट सीम्स लाइक, अंडरस्टैंड. सो प्योरली आई थिंक सी विल नॉट बी सूटेबल. डिमोट करना मयंक को, दैट इज नॉट गोइंग टू बी अ सूटेबल ऑप्शन हियर. ओके, so C, I don't agree with. Coming on the fourth one, send the team members for a technical training so that Mayank does not have to solve the problems in the future. I don't think so, students. Even this option is feasible because the problem lies with Mayank. The problem does not lie with the team members. Okay, try to understand. It is the duty of Mayank to empower the team members. So instead of doing that, instead of delegating, instead of empowering the team member, Mayank is not playing his role properly. तो यहाँ पर मयंक को ट्रीट करने के बजाय अगर हम टीम मेंबर्स को टेक्निकल ट्रेनिंग दे दें, okay, I don't think so this is going to be a feasible set of solution. Problem lies somewhere else and we are giving the solution somewhere else. So fourth, I disagree. Fifth, speak with Mayank and tell him that he can revert to his previous position. Even that is not the solution. We need to see that इसी पोजीशन में रहते हुए मयंक कैसे अपने परफॉर्मेंस को इंप्रूव करे. That is something we people should work for. And let Mayank understand, let Mayank get a chance once again कि चलो मयंक के साथ अपन काम करें, उसको क्लियर कट बेंचमार्क बताएं. बेटा, on the basis of your performance in the field of management, we are going to judge you. So I think second option is a better choice rather than telling Mayank कि आप अपनी previous position पे चले जाएं. Okay, so second option I agree with out of all these five. Okay, I guess the point is okay. Done. Coming on question number 5. Lately, there have been several incidents in which many doctors have recommended medicines manufactured by those companies that offer huge commissions to them. The medical council has received numerous complaints from aggrieved parties that have been forced to purchase these medicines at higher cost. So which of the following would be an appropriate decision on the part of the medical council? Well, students, not a very tough question, and this is something a practical problem also. Okay, so many doctors, they genuinely do this. They do have the contacts with the various pharmaceutical companies. Okay, तो ये तो होता है commonly. तो अब मुझे बताओ यहाँ पर मेडिकल काउंसिल को क्या करना चाहिए? Yes, डिस्कस करें. Coming on the first one, put a complete ban on the payment of commission by medicine companies on to doctors. Possibly, कई सारे students को लगेगा कि first option is the best one. इसे पूरी तरह से बैन नहीं करते हैं, but try to understand whatever solution you people are giving, you have to also see that whether the solution is practically enforceable or not. And if it is enforceable, will it be possible to monitor properly or not? I think students, when we take the first option, the biggest challenge is how to enforce it. चलो आपने बैन लगा दिया, but there are so many doctors. अब वहाँ पर students to find out कि whether a doctor is taking a commission or not, and possibly the commission may not be always taken in the form of cash only. There can be some other means, some other ways of getting the commission. But do understand, I think putting a complete ban on the payment of commission by medicine companies to doctors, that is going to be an extreme step, and moreover, enforcing it is not going to be a practical solution, understand. So one, I slightly disagree. Coming on the second, ignore the complaints. Of course, इसके आगे तो बहुत ज़्यादा पढ़ने की ज़रूरत ही नहीं है, understand. Third, there have been no reports of these medicines causing any harm to the patients. Therefore, this practice should be allowed to continue. The problem is not that the medicines are good or not. The problem is they are actually costing very high. Okay. So anyway, students, third option is not correct. Coming on the fourth one, the board should encourage this practice as it incentivizes the doctors to recommend effective medicines. At the same time, the patients will also benefit by recovering quickly. यहाँ पर students try to understand there is a presumption. हम ये presume करके चल रहे हैं कि ये जो higher cost की medicine है, they are actually more effective. Whereas there can be some better substitutes which can be very much economic also. So students, I don't agree with the fourth one as well. इससे तो problem और बढ़ेगी, solve कहाँ होगी? And fifth says the medical council can make it compulsory for the doctors to prescribe medicines that are commonly available in those localities. So ultimately students, जो common medicines हैं जो उस locality में मिलती है, अगर ऐसे rules बन जाएं कि doctors have to prescribe them only, okay, तो definitely this problem can be addressed up to some extent. I do understand, यहाँ पर भी students monitor करना, okay, practically इसको enforce करना may not be very much easy. But at least the customer can also see doctors जो medicines recommend कर रहा है क्या वो commonly available है या नहीं. Okay, and moreover, I think if the fifth option, if this decision is taken, the doctors will be at least under some pressure to recommend such medicines, at least in a majority of the cases or some of the cases which are commonly available. So I think even if this menace is not going to get over for completely, at least some solution can be given if we go for the fifth option. Okay, so fifth and A, in दोनों में से students, you people will have to make a choice. This is going to be an extreme option. Enforcing is going to be very tough. This is at least up to a good extent can become a solution for the problem. So I'll go with fifth option. Okay. आप लोग भी स्टूडेंट्स कमेंट करके बताते रहना, राइट? और मैं देखता रहता हूँ बहुत सारे स्टूडेंट्स दे कीप कमेंटिंग. हर बार आंसर दे पाना पॉसिबल नहीं हो पाता, बट एटलीस्ट यू पीपल गिव द कमेंट्स, यू पीपल गिव योर ओपिनियंस, एंड अदर स्टूडेंट्स, यू पीपल कैन एक्चुअली अगेन रिप्लाई. Okay, you can convince each other. This is how we people can keep helping each other. Coming on students, question number 6, a small question, 2 lines. Let us see which is the best answer. मैंने कहा था ना ज़्यादातर क्वेश्चंस आज मैंने कैसे लिए हैं जो स्टैंड अलोन है. ओके, इंडिविजुअल क्वेश्चंस. ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड ऐसे केसेस में बेस्ट कोर्स ऑफ एक्शन क्या होना चाहिए. So many small scale sector units in India become unviable and close down, resulting in huge loss to both the entrepreneur and the government. So what decision should the government take in this situation? Okay, so many small scale sector units in India become unviable and close down. Okay, तो बताओ स्टूडेंट्स, इसमें गवर्नमेंट का भी लॉस है and entrepreneur का भी. तो what steps the government should take? Try to understand. Solution किसको देना है? गवर्नमेंट को देना है, right? So you should always be careful. Okay, ultimately हमें किसके point of view से सोचना है. Coming on students, the first one, the banks should be asked to provide cheaper loans to the small scale sector units. I think if we go with first option, we are presuming that possibly ये जो these companies they are shutting down, possibly the reason is lack of finance. But that is a presumption. And what is the basis of that presumption? Because nothing is given in these 2 lines. तो स्टूडेंट्स ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड डायरेक्टली कुछ प्रिज्यूम करना और उसके बेसिस पर कोई सोल्यूशन देना, आई डोंट थिंक सो दैट इज गोइंग टू बी अ feasible and that is going to be an appropriate way of giving the answers in decision making. आप presumption ले सकते हो, I don't say that बिना presumption के answers देना may not be possible. A bit of presumption is also needed, but that does not mean that हम कोई भी wild presumption अपने हिसाब से कर लें and we give the solution accordingly. Okay? Right? तो first option ये तभी solution है when the problem is lack of finance. But there can be multiple other things. The lack of technical know-how, okay, the lack of managerial skills, it can be anything, understand. Okay, multiple other things. Coming on the second one, the government should appoint a technical committee to find out the reasons for the unit's closure. Okay, generally students decision making के questions में मैं वैसे बहुत ज़्यादा committee को establish करना and let us form a committee and let us see that committee क्या बताती है, उसके recommendations का wait करते हैं. वैसे generally in the decision making questions I don't recommend this option much, but sometimes when you don't have the other options, okay, possibly this option can be chosen. So a technical committee can be set up to find out what are the real causes for the closure of the various units. So the moment you understand the real causes, then only we can actually treat them. So second option seems to be okay here. Let us see the other options. The entrepreneurs should be encouraged to restart their ventures, as one should not give up after a failure. Anyway, this is not the correct answer. Okay, how can you keep expecting from the entrepreneur that kitne bhi failures ho jaye, but you have to keep restarting and you have to keep working? That is not practically feasible. यहाँ पर तो actually the government is not taking any responsibility and directly shifting the responsibility on the entrepreneurs. The government should give contracts only to multinationals to develop the small scale sector units in India. Again, this is not solving the problem. इससे तो small scale industry बिल्कुल खत्म हो जाएगी. The government should discourage the small scale sector units in India as it eventually results in losses and failed entrepreneurship. The government should discourage the small scale sector units in India as it eventually results in losses and failed entrepreneurship. This is like accepting the defeat. Sir, कुछ हो ही नहीं सकता, इसे discourage करो, इस पूरी industry को खत्म कर दो, इस पूरे sector को खत्म कर दो. Anyway, that is not the solution. तो मुझे students यहाँ पर second के अलावा कोई भी best option नहीं लगता है. So what is your opinion? Mark कर दें second? Absolutely. Coming on students, question number 7. Another interesting question. So Mr. Arora, the marketing head of a new FMCG-based company with limited reach, has to take a call between direct and indirect marketing of the company's latest product, Serenade Hand Wash. Whereas direct marketing involves much tried and tested path of advertising and the consumer awareness, indirect marketing deals with striking deals with the low-level distributors to increase inventory stocks of the company's product, so it is sold more as compared to other companies' products. Obvious to say, indirect marketing is risky but cheaper than direct marketing. Now see students, before we give the correct answer, you people have to be very careful about a few things. One, this is a new company and the reach is very much limited. ऐसी छोटी छोटी बातें मैं कई बार स्टूडेंट्स को देखता हूं कि हम लोग ओवरलुक कर देते हैं. अब जबकि when you will take a decision, तो इन सब को कंसिडर करना इज वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. नाउ स्टूडेंट्स, द USPs of direct marketing and indirect marketing are given to us. Direct marketing costly है, okay, हालांकि स्टूडेंट्स इट इज अ ट्राइड एंड टेस्टेड पाथ. इनडायरेक्ट मार्केटिंग में आप लोकल लेवल या छोटे बड़े डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर्स के साथ बड़ी डील करते हो और अपना एक प्रोडक्ट से भर देते हो उनकी इन्वेंटरी को, तो ऑब्वियसली आपको सेल में बेनिफिट मिल जाता है. तो नाउ सी स्टूडेंट्स, मिस्टर अरोरा को कौन सी स्ट्रैटेजी इंप्लीमेंट करनी चाहिए? यस, व्हाट इज द आंसर? First of all, anyway, in all the options, the possible reasons are also given, but at least we can take a call. Okay, direct marketing is better or indirect marketing is better. Well, let us see. First one, direct marketing as it is tried and tested as a marketing approach. Now try to understand. ये tried and tested है, therefore we should go for direct marketing. But try to understand it is going to be costly and this company is new. तो मुझे लगता है सिर्फ ट्राइड एंड टेस्टेड है, इसलिए हमें वो करना चाहिए. दैट मे नॉट बी मच फिजिबल फॉर अ न्यू कंपनी. ओके, वी कैन थिंक अबाउट दी alternatives as well. Second option, direct marketing, because it being a new company, it is important for the product brand to become known to consumers. But again, we should not ignore that. This company does not have much reach. And second, direct marketing is going to be costly. आप एक साथ बड़े बड़े विज्ञापन लगा दो, आपके टीवी में एड्स दे दो, स्टूडेंट्स ये बहुत कॉस्टली है. एंड स्टिल वी डोंट नो हाउ द कस्टमर्स आर गोइंग टू रिस्पॉन्ड. तो पॉसिबली स्टूडेंट्स एक साथ बहुत बजट के साथ मार्केटिंग करना, आई will not recommend here. See, indirect marketing, because a new company does not have a large advertising budget and should look for ways to cut down cost. Okay, so there are three options which are actually are in favor of indirect marketing. We will have to see the possible reasons as well. Okay, anyway, C कहता है कि we need to cut down the cost, so therefore we should go for this. Fourth, indirect marketing as new innovative methods have time and time again proved themselves in terms of returns. I think students fourth की जो reasoning है वो बहुत weak है. Try to understand, नए नए methods हमेशा results देते रहते हैं या कई बार results देते रहते हैं, इसलिए हमको ये करना चाहिए. Now that is not the feasible way of convincing Mr. Arora. There has to be a strong reason also. So anyway, we are not supposed to just take a call. We have to convince Mr. Arora with a possible, a very convincing reason also. Try to understand, यहाँ पर why का भी तो जवाब देना है ना. Fifth, indirect marketing as the concept, although less implemented, looks solid as steel on paper and is bound to give better returns. Students try to understand. It looks solid, therefore we should do this. Again, that is not good reason at all. And is bound to give result. Okay, how is it possible? How can you say that it is bound to give better returns? Possible है, ये strategy हमारी fail भी हो जाए. I think students fifth में भी कोई दम नहीं है. The best answer is C. Okay, it actually gives a reason. We are a new company, तो कम बजट में काम करो and indirect marketing की तरफ जाओ. Okay, wonderful. The students coming on question number 8. Ivan. Okay, another interesting question, and I think students, all these questions are helping you a lot in developing a very good understanding. And students in sub classes की लाज रखनी, understand. You people have to ensure that you are going to score high in decision making. Okay, Ivan was a team leader for a team of 6 employees at City Fintech. He was popular among employees with a reputation of always delivering results on time. Ivan and his team members usually followed their own office timings and were quite often seen on coffee breaks. The management had ignored these deviations as the team was performing well. Ivan reports into Julia, who managed 5 team leaders, including Ivan. Julia is worried that not addressing these deviations may impact City Fintech's culture negatively in the long run. So which of the following is the basis of Julia's apprehension? Okay. So one thing is very clear. Julia is apprehensive. उसे लगता है कि इवान की जो वर्किंग स्टाइल है, that is actually going to spoil the work culture, okay, in this company. So negatively in the long run. So which of the following is the basis of Julia's apprehension? We have to give a logical reason for that apprehension. Anyway, students, we know that Ivan is known for delivering very good results on time. At the same time, the way of working is very different. Okay, no punctuality at all. या अगर मैं कहूँ usually followed their own office timings, तो वो अपने हिसाब से काम कर रहे हैं and कई बार breaks लेते रहते हैं. Thus that, though they are giving very good results. Now coming on, students, the first one, the flexibility given to Ivan and his team may be perceived as preferential treatment by others. Okay, we have to give a strong reason for the apprehension which is there in the mind of Julia. तो Julia को ऐसा लगता है, first option says that possibly बाकी team members को लगेगा कि Ivan is getting a preferential treatment. Okay, therefore she is apprehensive. That means she is more apprehensive because बाकी members को लगेगा कि Ivan के साथ कुछ favoritism हो रहा है, कुछ better preferential treatment मिल रहा है. I think students ये reason बहुत strong reason नहीं है for the apprehension. The working style of Ivan's team may affect the working style of other teams. Okay, this may be a possible reason. See, Ivan and his team's behavior shows disregard for office policies. कहीं पर भी स्टूडेंट्स डिसरिगार्ड ये वर्ड गलत है. ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड. वो अपने हिसाब से आते हैं, अपने हिसाब से काम करते हैं, कॉफ़ी ब्रेक्स लेते रहते हैं, बट दैट डज नॉट मीन दैट ऑफिस की पॉलिसीज़ को लेकर इवान एंड हिज टीम आर शोइंग डिसरिगार्ड. तो आई थिंक स्टूडेंट्स सी अपील तो करता है, बट दिस इज नॉट करेक्ट. फोर्थ, प्रोडक्टिविटी ऑफ इवान्स टीम. आई डू अंडरस्टैंड सी इसलिए बहुत सारे स्टूडेंट्स को लगेगा बिकॉज okay, they have their own office timings and all, but if they had shown disregard, possibly फिर तो बहुत अच्छे results उनको deliver करने ही नहीं चाहिए थे. If they are not very serious about the company's working and all, तो मुझे लगता है ठीक है, disregard word थोड़ा सा ज़्यादा extreme हो जाएगा इस particular context में, because the results were given on time. That means they were dedicated. Okay, they were knowing that what they are supposed to do. Productivity of Ivan's team will go down in the long run. No, not at all. ऐसा कहीं पर भी इस पैराग्राफ को पढ़कर नहीं लग रहा है. Ivan and his team's conduct may affect the other employees negatively. Okay, so either other employees negatively or the working style of Ivan's team may affect the working style of other teams. I think students, instead of focusing on other employees, Ivan's team की working को देखकर बाकी teams की working style भी अफेक्ट हो सकती है. ओके, ये तो ठीक है, इवान तो फिर भी बहुत अच्छे रिजल्ट्स दे रहा है, बट पॉसिबली द अदर टीम्स दे मे नॉट कॉपी द डेडिकेशन ऑफ इवान एंड हिज टीम, बट दे मे कॉपी द वे इवान सीम्स टू बी वर्किंग, लाइक कभी भी आ जाना, कभी भी चले जाना. तो डू अंडरस्टैंड, पॉजिटिविटी बहुत जल्दी से कॉपी होती है, बट नेगेटिविटी जल्दी से कॉपी हो जाती है. पॉजिटिविटी बहुत लेट कॉपी होती है, वो हम लोग कई बार उसे कॉपी नहीं करते, बट एक्चुअली negativity we copy it very easily. So I think if we go for second option, yes, that becomes a strong reason for the apprehension which is there in the mind of Julia. So I'll go with second option. Okay, coming on students, there is a big set given to us, and on the basis of this set there are in total 3 questions. Okay, but anyway students, I think in तीनों के answers now you people will have to give. Okay, मैं थोड़ी देर बाद, मतलब almost after 12 hours, I'm going to post the answer in the comment box. But I want you people to give the answers in the comment box, solve it, and let me know, okay, what the correct answers are. Even if it is not possible to give the possible reason, at least you people can give the answer. So there are 3 questions based on this particular set. Okay, so question number 9, and then you have question number 10. And then students, we have question number 11. This becomes question number 11. Okay, done. तो यहाँ तक students हम लोग आज इस पूरी क्लास को end करते हैं. Okay, so we have discussed 8 questions in the class and 3 questions are your assignment. Okay, so I believe all the students by this you people are becoming more and more confident in solving the questions of decision making. You people try to understand one thing, my final piece of advice. कभी भी किसी section को लेकर 100% confident, and that too in 100% all the questions may not be there. हो सकता है out of 22 questions there may be 1 or 2 sets जो बहुत ज़्यादा typical हो, बहुत ज़्यादा confusing हो. But anyway students, those sets are not supposed to be given much attention also. आप लोग जो बाकी 5 सेट्स हैं, अगर वो ढंग से करोगे तो भी स्टूडेंट्स वी कैन स्कोर हाई. बट कई बार क्या होता है, एक सेट कंफ्यूजिंग होता है, बट एक परसेप्शन बन जाता है कि सर पूरा का पूरा डिसीजन मेकिंग बहुत कंफ्यूजिंग है. नो, नॉट एट ऑल. इन अ मेजॉरिटी ऑफ द केसेस all the questions we people can answer effectively with accuracy. There is no doubt at all. Understand, ऐसा नहीं होता है कि हम ज़्यादातर questions में we are not able to give convincing answers. We are able to give convincing answers. We are able to get convincing answers. कुछ confusions हमेशा होते हैं, but 2 options are so close and where giving some answer depends on a bit of assumption. तो वहाँ हो सकता है there may be some differences or dissent in the answers also, but that is the beauty of decision making. Okay, So thank you very much and all the best. See you very soon in the next video.